Danny Flexent here for Seconds Out with the new IBF mandatory lightweight contender George Kambosos Jr. And you're still in London, I believe.
I am in London, still in London, but get to fly back tomorrow, back to Australia.
Back
So
the day
looking
our
forward.
lockdown begins.
Yes, so obviously good time to get out.
Yeah,
Had a
very
couple of
much
days
so.
here, and perfect time now to get back home to Australia. It's been a long, obviously long camp, and I've been in Miami. So kids miss me, the family miss me, so it's a good time to get back as a world number one.
Yeah, great victory for you over Lee Selby on Saturday night. Enjoyable fight. Probably more of a chess match at times than a war or anything like that, but certainly a clear winner at the end. Anything Selby doing there surprise you, or did it go pretty much as you'd expected?
Not really. Like I had told pretty much everyone before the fight, I watched so much of Selby that I knew him better than he knew himself. Everything he'd done, I expected. That's why the game plan worked perfect. We took him obviously downstairs. We took the body away from him, slowed him up on his feet, made his jab miss. My defense was on point. My shots were clean, accurate. I outlanded him heaps of punches. And look, great win against obviously a former world champion, a guy that's been at the top level for a long time. And 6 world title fights, 4 defenses. He's no mug, I mean, he's a very good fighter. But it's a great win. That's 2 former world champions in their backyards. People got to applaud what we're doing, what I'm doing. Not many fighters are taking the risks like we are, but in this game, I'm here to take the best and fight the best and beat the best.
What did you make of the lack of crowd, and do you think that helped in a sense because he was more the local fighter, or did that take away a bit because you can feed off the crowd sometimes?
Look, it is what it is. Obviously, we're in a global pandemic, and that's the way sports are worldwide, pretty much. If you let it affect you too much, you're going to get away from your game plan. I had tunnel vision. At the end of the day, it was me and Lee Selby in that ring. I didn't care if there was 100,000 people there or 2 people there. As long as it was Lee Selby in the ring, and I had a job to do, I had a mission to do, and I done it perfect.
Now, a lot of people were saying in the build-up it's kind of the boxer against the more aggressive fighter. But as it turned out, you actually outboxed Selby for long periods. Does that give you added satisfaction?
Well, look, that was the game plan. People don't realise how good of a boxer I am. Obviously, Lee Selby is a superior boxer, but I just went and outboxed Lee Selby, who's obviously known for being such a good boxer. That was the plan. People thought I was going to come flying in. I tricked everybody. Selby thought I was going to come head in and just go to work. I'm a very good counter puncher. I'm a very good boxer. I've got great boxing IQ, great feet, great speed, great power, great vision. And I stayed so composed. It was a great game plan, and like I said, we played the game plan to a T, and boxed his head off. I truly believe I watched the fight twice already. 118, 110 is a perfectly fair scorecard.
Do you think 135 pounds is the best division in boxing right now?
I think so. I think it's a great division. You've got great names, high-profile fighters, guys that are coming up, young contenders, and young champions. So I'm so happy to be in this division. It's a great division. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. If a lightweight says that I don't want to be in this division, or they don't want to say that they're in the best division, well, they shouldn't be in this division. You should want to be with the best. Obviously, I'm here in the UK. I'm here in London. Obviously, let's talk about the Premier League. If you want to be in the Premier League, you want to be playing the best. You want to obviously win the Premier League by beating the best teams. It's the same thing in the lightweights. You want these good fighters around you because you want to beat them to become the best fighter in the world. And I'm not here to protect any records. I'm 19-0, but I'm not here to protect a record. I'm here to fight the best and give the fans the best fights available.
Now, you're in line for that IBF title shot now. The current champion is, of course, Teofimo Lopez. He has talked about moving straight up to 140, having beaten Vasily Lomachenko. Would it mean more to you winning the world title from someone like Lopez, especially coming off that Lomachenko win, than fighting for a vacant title if he does give it up?
Look, Lopez is not going anywhere. Lopez is staying at 135. And I'll tell you now, he's seeing me next. He's not going anywhere. He's making weight easy. He's got no issues making weight. I know he's got a great team with perfecting athletes, who I know the people as well, and they're doing a great job for him. So he's not going anywhere. He wants to make serious money, and he's got to come see me.
How do you assess his win over Lomachenko? How much did he win the fight, and how much did Lomachenko lose it?
Look, it was a great win. I'm not going to take that away from him. I mean, it was a great win. He beat the man. Lomachenko was the man. He was the king of the division, and he obviously beat the guy. But again, we all saw it. Lomachenko didn't throw a punch for 7 rounds. When he did start turning it up, Lopez started to gas, started to get hit, looked in trouble a few times, and then obviously came back and rallied pretty much in that last round and cemented it. But look, when you're coming up, obviously, like a guy like myself, I'm not going to wait 7 rounds to start making a move. I'll be on your ass straight away. My hand speed, my movement, the aggression, the smart boxing IQ, I cause a lot of troubles for him. And I truly believe I win the fight. I really can't see him beating me. Obviously, he's got big power, but I've got great power as well. So it's a great fight. It's 2 young, hungry fighters, obviously getting it on. But when you talk about him with the Lomachenko fight, you can make a case that Lomachenko kind of gave that away a little bit, but that's his fault. He should have been on him straight away. Maybe he was just, I don't know, outside of the ring for too long, or the shoulder injury, if he's using that as an excuse or whatever he is. You don't wait. You got to be on straight away from round 1.
So is it a big pay-per-view fight in the US, or is it a big live gate fight in Australia?
It's a huge live gate fight. It's a stadium fight in Australia. And I think the build-up from 2 young, hungry fighters, and obviously being on such a big platform this last weekend, obviously as the co-main to Usyk and Chisora, I think I made a lot of noise. I think a lot of people realize, okay, this guy can talk, but he can also back it up. This guy brings a lot of entertainment, not only outside of the ring, but inside the ring. So I think both of us, not only the way we fight, our styles are very similar. Fast, aggressive, punches. But outside of the ring, we can talk, we can entertain. So I think it makes perfect sense. I think it's a great fight. And I'm his mandatory. It's not like I'm not his mandatory where you can say, well, who are you? I'm his mandatory now. I'm the number 1. I just beat Lee Selby, who was obviously in line. Obviously, myself and him were in line for this fight. And again, Selby was the number 1 in WBO. He was the number 1. So really, I know the WBO is probably going to take me out of the ratings now because I'm number 1 in IBF, but really, I'm number 1 in IBF and number 1 in the WBO. So if anyone's proved it and earned it more than anyone, it's myself to make that fight happen.
On the same weekend as your good victory over Lee Selby, we saw Gervonta Davis at super featherweight / lightweight, because there was a lightweight belt on the line, take care of business in spectacular fashion at the end, at least, against Leo Santa Cruz. And then we've got Devin Haney defending the WBC belt against Yuri Gamboa this weekend. What do you make of those 2 guys and where they fit in at 135? Are they up there with the likes of Lopez?
Look, Gervonta is a great fighter. So is Devin Haney. Like I said, it's a great division to be in because you've got fighters like that as well. But look, I had Leo Santa Cruz. Obviously, I had my fight, and obviously I went straight to back to the hotel to watch that fight because I had so much interest in it. Santa Cruz was giving him obviously a lot and landing some good shots, and I thought it was pretty close until he got a little bit lazy and Tank caught him with that beautiful uppercut. I'm not going to take away that was a beautiful shot, probably knockout of the year. And as not only as obviously a boxer and a fighter and a guy in this division, a contender, but as a boxing fan, it was a beautiful shot, beautiful clean shot. But look, you can take bits and pieces away from that fight, obviously with them fighting. Same with Devin Haney now with Gamboa. You'll be able to take bits and pieces of what he does. If he looks good, okay, he looked good against a 38-year-old or whatever, 40-year-old. I don't know how old Gamboa is at the moment, but you can take that. If he looks bad, then you can take a lot out of that too and say, oh, he's not at that level yet. But look, great division, great names, great division. I think once everyone starts taking each other out, and then there'll be only a few left, then obviously we all fight each other.
Well, another great fight in the division coming up soon is another British guy, of course, Luke Campbell, fighting Ryan Garcia out in the US. Who do you like in that fight, and why?
I'm gonna go with Campbell. I think Campbell's experience, Linares, Lomachenko, I think his experience could get him over the line. Obviously, Garcia's young, but he hasn't fought nobody. He really hasn't fought anybody. The guys that he's beat have been C-level guys. Yeah, he's an Instagram guy. He's got millions and millions of followers on Instagram. He's got young, 10, 11-year-old girls and young 10, 11-year-old boys loving him. But when we talk about boxing, what has he really done in the boxing world? He hasn't done anything. Has he even fought a former world champion yet or beat a former world champion? No. So, look, I think this will be his biggest test. And I think Luke Campbell can do it. I think he can do it. And to be honest, Luke Campbell's pulled up short a few times, against these big names. And to be honest, I think he deserves this win. He deserves to achieve, a big win like this. But again, another great fight. Two good names as well. What a division.
So in your opinion, aside from yourself, who's the best lightweight in the world?
Well, look, you got to go with Lopez. Lopez got all the belts. He just, like I said, he beat the guy that was the man. Before that fight, I would have told you Lomachenko. But aside from, obviously, myself, I'm going to say I'm the best lightweight. But when you look away from myself, Lopez the guy, has got the belts. So you got to give him the credit where credit is due. And he's the number one guy. And that's why I'm chasing him. He's mandatory. I'm chasing him. I want to fight the best. I want the number one guy. I don't want number 2 or 3. I want number one.
And tell us who you're going home to in Australia. You've got a big family, people you haven't seen for a long time, I imagine, as well.
I'm going home to my kids. I've got my 2 kids. I've got my 3-year-old daughter, my 1-year-old son. So I've been away from them for about 6-7 weeks now. Obviously in Miami in camp, and these last couple of days in London. And I'll go home. But I still have to quarantine at home. Obviously, Australia has a rule. I've got 2 weeks of quarantine in Australia. But at least I'll be home, and I'll be able to see him real soon. But it was all worth it. The sacrifice, the hardship away from him was all worth it. I go home as world number 1 and world title next. That's the sacrifice that, unfortunately, as fighters we have to make. And a lot of the fans don't get to see the sacrifices we make. This is the things we do for our family and to achieve our dreams.
Great stuff. Well, I really appreciate you finding some time before you fly back to speak to us. And you're welcome back anytime. I think I can speak on behalf of UK boxing fans and say, we really enjoyed the fight, and come back soon.
No, it was a pleasure. Look, it's a shame that there was no fans. I always wanted to fight in the UK in front of fans. So I promised the UK fans and a few of the people that I met here that I'll come back and hopefully bring a world title fight to the UK with a packed out arena. But it's been a great time, and I feel at home here.
Great. Well, we look forward to it. And safe journey getting back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for that.
Thanks, George. Take care.
Cheers. Thank you.